Greetings, programs. Tarkoth here, and Naoki Yoshida has unfortunately put down another blog post on the Lodestone, and we need to talk about it because there's some good, and unfortunately there's some bad. So let's dive into this and see what we got here. So hello, this is Naoki Yoshida, producer of and director of Final Fantasy XIV. We apologize for the ongoing congestion that has been occurring since early access and the official launch of Endwalker. Been nearly 2 weeks since the start of early access, and players are still experiencing substantial congestion when logging into the game. I myself am still riding this roller coaster. I found that if I can get up early, log in before 10 a.m., usually the queues are, sub 1,000, and I just have to wait a little while. But anybody that wants to log in during prime time, it's just, you got to babysit the queue, wait and hope, and pray to the 12, unfortunately. So what they are going to do, though, they're going to, this next point here, additional game time compensation. We are aware that the long waiting times to log into the game are preventing players from playing, and for this we sincerely apologize. In response to this, we recently granted 7 days of game time, but now we are also be granting an additional 14 days. Keywords that are also an additional. So this is going to be a total of 21 days or 3 weeks of game time. That is a huge hit to Square, but it's something I feel that needs to be done. They got to they can't be charging people for a game that they can't log into. So I appreciate these 21 days, these 3 weeks free. I wish everyone could just log in and experience. That would be, the hope for everyone. It's an amazing game. But this is something that I'm thankful that they're doing. This will apply to all players, including those with multiple accounts, who own the full version of the game and have an active subscription as of Tuesday the 21st. So if you're wanting to get started, or looking to come back, pop in that subscription now, get an extra 3 weeks, on top of the month you subscribe for, get a little bonus. Yeah. As Tuesday 21st at 12 a.m. Pacific, which is scheduled release date for patch 6.01. Further details regarding eligibility will be announced separately. Here's where they're taking some. They don't have really the options to make servers just appear out of nothing, unfortunately. So what they're doing to help in the long run is they're going to be suspending delivery of package versions and temporary suspension of the digital version sales. Players are currently experiencing extremely long wait times due to the dense concentration of play hours, which has far exceeded our server capacity, especially during the peak times. I've seen people that have 6,000 to 8,000 queue times. It's absolutely crazy. So we have decided to temporarily suspend the sale and delivery of Final Fantasy XIV Starter Edition and Complete Edition. Additionally, though those with an active subscription are prioritized to log in, free trial players are unable to log in outside of late night and early morning hours. And so we are also temporarily suspending new registrations for the free trial. So they're locking it all down because they just can't handle the load. They can't handle more new players coming in, unfortunately, which is really sad. Unfortunately, this is hits me in my heart because I want people to experience this game. It's an amazing expansion, 8 years worth of story. It sucks that they have to lock this down just to get stability. These temporary suspensions will be phased in over the next few days as we work with our retail partners. We will be coordinating with them as swiftly as possible, but please bear in mind that this will be a gradual process. We will also be suspending all new advertisements. However, it will not be possible to suspend some of the advertisements due to the nature of how they were set up. We appreciate your patience and understanding regarding this matter. Yeah, it's hard to justify putting out advertisements for a game that you're not going to be selling. The part where the nature of how they were set up, you're going to have contracts for places to, put our ad on your site or put our ad in a TV spot or something of that nature. So they can't go pull those back, unfortunately, because contracts are done. So they got to fulfill those contractual obligations. So whatever has already been set up is unfortunately going to have to move forward, but there won't be any new advertisements once those are all settled. Expansion packs and collector's edition digital upgrades will continue to be available for existing players, so they may upgrade as needed. At least there's that. So, players that have the game can upgrade and move on with the story. To those who have been invited by their friends and family who have been considering joining, as well as our retail partners, we sincerely apologize for any inconvenience this may cause, and ask for your understanding and cooperation in order to reduce congestion. We will continue to monitor the situation as we consider the timing around resuming sales. So, yeah, locking down sales, reducing advertisements, big hit to Square and the team at Creative Business Division 3. I feel for them. I know they want this game to come out. Everyone's very proud of this. I'm proud of the game, being a longtime fan of it. So it's just, this whole situation just sucks. Error 2002 while waiting in login queues. This is one of my biggest issues. I personally don't mind waiting in a queue. The issue is having to babysit it because of these 2002 errors knocking you out of the queue. You hope to get back in. Apparently there's a minute wait time before the bouncer just forgets that you exist. Come back in, and if you're outside that time limit, the bouncer's like, nope, sorry, back of the line. So I recently experienced that myself. I was like, okay, well, I guess I'm going to play some Destiny 2 for the night. I'm not going to re-wait another 2+ hours. So in regards to error 2002 that occurs during login queues, outside of causes related to unstable connections, we have confirmed a bug. This bug was part of a login-related program created back in Final Fantasy XIV version 1.0. So the thought that there's no, technical debt with 1.0 because 2.0 was from ground up. Well, apparently they used some things from 1.0 to help get 2.0 to where it was and where we are now. Thanks to the reports and tests carried out by many of our players, we were able to identify the cause of the problem. We apologize for not being able to identify the issue on our end, and thank you all for submitting detailed reports regarding this matter. So it looks like they had some outside help from players trying to really nail down what was going on, and they found this bug. Although the code for fixing this bug is already prepared, applying the fix will require patching the game client, which will be addressed in patch 6.01, so this upcoming Tuesday on the 21st. As this issue occurs while waiting in the queue for a very long time, we considered releasing the patch ahead of schedule, but in the end decided to include it in 6.01, as there is already a lot of new code in the pipeline for the patch, and interrupting the process of verifying them may lead to other bugs. We apologize for the inconvenience and ask for your patience a bit longer. So yeah, we're going to have one more weekend of these 2002 errors, hopefully, and hopefully them not pushing it now and putting it in with the main patch that comes in on Tuesday limits the potential for additional bugs, because when you start layering code on top of code, things that you thought were okay before could be affected now by this new line of code. So I'm hopeful that this will fix the issues. Again, I don't mind waiting in a queue. It's being bumped out. So if they get this fixed and no other bugs pop up because of it, awesome. I'm crossing my fingers though. It might go wrong. So things have not been great as far as logging in. Once you're in the game, it's been great. But once, it's getting into the game, that's the problem right now. Upcoming patch schedule. Due to the high levels of congestion, we are aware that there has been a lot of discussion in the community about the release of Pandemonium Asphodelos. There's been a lot of mouthful words in this expansion, so apologies for mispronunciations, Savage in patch 6.05, scheduled for Tuesday, January 4th, 2022. Regarding this, as long as there are no major issues, we plan to release the patch as scheduled. We understand that there are concerns about world first races and first week progression, but patch 6.05 will add a number of new elements, such as the addition of a new Allegan tombstone, new crafting recipes, as well as the new treasure hunt dungeon, the Excitotron 6000. Many players are looking forward to content aside from high-end duties, and furthermore, considering the balance of the rewards and item levels from said content, we cannot withhold any Pandemonium Savage content, and rebalancing these would delay the patch release by several weeks and would affect patch 6.1 and beyond. We regret to say this in the midst of major congestion, but as we mentioned earlier, unless there are major issues, we plan to release the patch as scheduled. We ask for your understanding and cooperation regarding this matter. With this, they have opened the door and let us know that, hey, we're planning to release this patch. We're just letting you know this is the plan. That door is now cracked open to let us know, yeah, we could push it back. Again, they can't just push back the Savage raid. They have to push back the entire patch. That would be very inconvenient for a lot of people. As they mentioned in the World First races, people organizing stuff around this high-end content. It's just the same as early access. People planned in advance to play the game, to get the MSQ, to get content made. So to have this happen again with the delay would mark this as just, unfortunately, the worst expansion launch to date. And it's very unfortunate with what's going on, unfortunately. I hope they can pull this off. I hope there's no major issues. But as you can see, that they've left the door open for this to be a possibility. So please look forward to it. Updates regarding the addition of a new logical data center and worlds. Since July 2021, in order to accommodate the significant increase in the number of new players, we have been working towards building a new logical data center and adding new worlds. However, due to the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, we have not been able to make any additions due to suspension of semiconductor production at manufacturing factories, decrease in production quantities, as well as a shortage of raw materials. Although we are investing much more money than usual, our attempts to alleviate the ongoing congestion situation are being delayed due to the physical shortage of server equipment. So basically, Square doesn't have the servers. They're trying to buy some, acquire them however they can. They're willing to pay premium to get things right and get the servers up and let people in. They just can't get it. I don't know if people knew there's a pandemic. It's affecting a lot of things, including the global supply chain. So servers, semiconductors are all part of that, unfortunately. I know some people will point to New World. It's like, oh, they had all these things. Well, that's Amazon. They run web services. They have those servers. They devoted it to that. And here they are now, merging servers. So Square, unfortunately, is not in the same position to have just bulk servers on standby in case this goes sideways. So in any other, non-pandemic situation, they'd be able to get a hold of new servers and get those spun up and going. But unfortunately, we live in the day and age we do. So with the help of IT equipment vendors from all around the world, we are slowly beginning to receive information about delivery dates and figures. Considering the high specification requirements for Final Fantasy XIV servers, along with the fact that adding a single logical data center requires hundreds of servers, we invariably need much more time, but we're starting to see some progress. In line with this, the server and infrastructure teams are working together to plan for new additions, and we hope to be able to provide some sort of roadmap by the end of January 2022. That would be nice because we're also expecting Oceanic data server to come online. There's talks about data center travel. You can just put that all on the back burner. I feel for Oceanic, I really want them to get their data center so that they have a localized home. Don't have to deal with the ping in Japan or on the west coast of the states. But again, we're in the world we're in, so we are considering adding servers to each region, especially plans for a large-scale addition in North America and Europe. I'm glad they're pointing out Europe. Europe definitely needs some love. Their situation's more dire than the States. So hopefully they get some love here real soon. And we'll be looking at the number of servers, infrastructure, construction time, power issues, and server rack situation to see if we should do this sequentially or in one big push. Either way, the plan is to introduce a large number of additions, which we intend to carry out quickly and safely with as minimal inconvenience to our players as possible. And we will follow up regarding this matter as we progress. So look forward to a roadmap about data center and getting things going at the end of January. Hopefully it's good news. Inquiries about errors triggered by specific payments. Since the release of Endwalker, we have received a large number of inquiries from players who have been unable to play the game due to errors which occur during payment or code registration. After reviewing the details of these inquiries, we found that the accounts involved are being accessed from the same environment as those used by a group of people who are believed to be providing suspicious services. As a result, these accounts were determined to be using suspicious services that temporarily access users' accounts to log in and make payments or create accounts on their behalf, and were blocked from payment and code registrations as a part of fraud prevention. Such suspicious services may have a history of theft or other fraudulent credit card activity, and we cannot do anything other than safeguard against such activity and cannot restore those accounts. As a reminder, we ask that you refrain from using such suspicious services for your own good. We will continue to strive for our utmost support so that everyone around the world can play comfortably. We sincerely apologize for the inconveniences caused by the ongoing severe congestion. We appreciate your understanding and cooperation. So don't use suspicious services. Anything you're going to do, go straight through Square. I would never condone going through any third-party site to do anything with this game, especially with terms of service and them putting down a ban hammer on anything crazy, especially after the Party Finder situation. So, yeah, that's about it. We're hopeful that we're going to get Savage on time, but they are going to have a patch for the 2002 era, which I feel has been the big crux of the issue, at least I've experienced. So hopefully that will be resolved without any additional hiccups. And that is about it for tonight. Thank you all for joining me. Hope to see you soon. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. And we'll see you in the next video. End of line.